Adam Anders, it's great to have you here on Charisma Magazine Online and to be able to talk about this really fun film, The Journey to Bethlehem. It's obviously the Journey to Bethlehem is the Christmas story, uh, but you've got a great cast of characters in there, not just a cast of regular characters that we're aware of, but the people that you have playing them, just the talented crew. Tell us about this film and the story that you're telling, but the people that you've brought in there as well.
Man, I've been fortunate. The cast is amazing. I mean, from Antonio Banderas to Joel Smallbone from Freaking Country, Lecrae's in there, Milo Manheim, who's a huge Disney star from the Zombies franchise. Fiona Palomo, I think, is just phenomenal as Mary. Really, it's amazing to see the people God brought to this project that I couldn't have imagined having people like Antonio Banderas in my little movie when I started off trying to make this 17 years ago, which makes me
Wow.
sound very old, but I couldn't be more thrilled with how it turned out, the reaction we're getting, how much people love it. I was in a screening the other day in Nashville, and people brought their kids, and hearing the kids just laugh out loud, and it was just such a great experience, and it's why we did it.
Very cool. Adam, you just said that it took 17 years to make this thing come a reality. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of that has changed in the world in the last 17 years. Um, Tell us about the original inspiration for this film, and honestly, why did it take so long for it to actually come out?
I think God pushes pause on our dreams sometimes until we're ready. And I can tell you, if I'd made this 17 years ago, it would have been a terrible movie because I did not know how to make a movie 17 years ago. It was just a dream then. And I was visiting my wife Nikki's family in Iowa for Christmas and couldn't find anything to watch. I was like, well, I've
Hmm.
seen that before, and that's not even what Christmas is about. And I'm a songwriter producer. It's how I started. And I'm like, why isn't anyone done a musical about the Christmas story? Like, it
Hmm.
seemed so obvious to me. And it was just like God tattooed that idea in my heart, and I haven't been able to let go of it through all the ups and downs and everything that, all the things we've gone through in the last 17 years. But yeah, it's amazing how God gives you these dreams. And then when it's His timing, not ours, they come to fruition.
Mary, you're getting married. It's about to be the best day of your life.
Joseph, I feel like we're already friends, no?
Mary, Mary, married is something you do. Dreams are coming true.
Harry, God has chosen you to have a son, the King of all kings.
So you wear a lot of hats in this production as well. So you're the director, the co-writer, the producer, and you do a lot of the music as well.
Mm.
The music and dancing, from what I've seen in the trailer, it just looks like it is a fun film. I'm trying to
Mm.
I'm trying to kind of relate it to something else that I can think of, and the only thing I can think of is big, musical numbers from like a Disney on TV, kind of a remake of these films. I'm kind of thinking actually kind of like Aladdin with Will Smith.
Mm.
That's that kind of feel.
Mm.
It just seems like a lot of fun for families.
It is. I made it for families, for my family, and it was a family affair. My wife wrote the music with me, and she's been there the whole time, encouraging me to keep going when I wanted to give up. My boys, I have two young boys that had to make sure they loved the movie too. And it's really for families. And, at Christmas, we gather all ages, cousins, uncles, grandparents, kids, we gather. Well,
Mhm.
what can we do together that we would love? What can you go to the theater and watch? And that's what I wanted to make. I wanted to make that movie. And I wanted to make it in a way that felt as vibrant, as celebratory, and beautiful as all these things you mentioned. Why
Mhm.
does Santa Claus get the most vibrant, fun movies at Christmas? This is what we should be celebrating, what kids should be watching. So I wanted to create a film that looked like that, and felt like that, and gave us those feelings, but that actually told you what we're celebrating.
Yeah. What kind of challenges did you have in writing this script and telling the story that is so well known? But what kind of nuances and things did you try to work in there for? I mean, obviously, from even the trailer, I can see that there's character development with Mary and Joseph in ways that I think is very creative. And so, tell me about some of the process of creation.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I took creative license. You know, we have Matthew 1 and 2, Luke 1 and 2, and that's what we have.
Yeah.
There's not much detail. So if you take those verses and you spread them out over, a 90-minute movie, I lived in the in-betweens. Let's fill that in. Let's imagine what it was like for Mary when she told her parents that she was pregnant. Let's imagine how Joseph felt about that.
I'm not the only one who's chosen for this. You have a choice. You can say you believe me and that you love me. Will you still marry me, Joseph?
I do. I will. Yes, of course, yes.
Let's imagine what it was like for them to try and work it out and stay together in spite of what they were going through. And these are really relatable things we all go through. So I think making the characters relatable to people now is a great way into the story. And that's what I set out to do. And in the beginning of the film, I write, inspired by a true story. And there's two important things to note there. I say inspired by, I don't say it's a documentary. I know they didn't sing and dance to pop music. I'm pretty sure that didn't happen. But also, I wanted people to know that the filmmaker believes it's a true story. And so watch it with that lens on, but then also just have fun. From the very beginning, it's okay to laugh. And if you're laughing, kids stay engaged. Yeah, and it was just very intentional the way I approached it so that everyone could enjoy it over and over again.
Very cool. Adam, what are some of your favorite moments? You mentioned that, it's great to hear your kids laugh at these, and other people laugh. What are some moments that you enjoy hearing these laughter?
It's funny when you write a script, comedy's hard because you don't know if people are going to laugh or not. So it's very rewarding to hear not only kids, but adults laugh too. And adults laugh at different jokes than the kids.
Very
and
true.
that's also intentional. And I think historically, Pixar did that very well at times. And so that's what I set out to do. So it's very rewarding to hear it work, first of all. But, some of my favorite moments, obviously, are some of the musical moments. Mary's song that she sings is just phenomenal. I think all the interplay between Antonio Banderas and Joel Smallbone, every day we shot with them, it was just a dream. It was just so fun. And Antonio brought so much to set and to the character. And he just elevated the whole movie, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's just so much to love, frankly.
Well, tell us about his role, Antonio Banderas, and just working with him. And he's definitely the biggest named star in this. But we've got a lot of people that, if you're in the Christian world, you're probably aware of Lecrae and Joel Smallbone and some other people as well. But Antonio Banderas he's headlining big movies, and here he is at the Journey to Bethlehem.
Yeah, I mean, look, I had him really top of my list for 3 years. For the moment, COVID hit, and that's when I had 6 months to do nothing. So I just spent the time reflecting on all my failures with this movie, frankly, and what I need to do to get it right. And it was a gift from God, really, to have that time. I've never had it in my career. So when I came out of COVID with this script, I went, well, who's going to play this role? Herod was always going to be the biggest movie star to me. That's just how I had conceived the movie. And I wrote down, Antonio Banderas. I've seen him in all the great movies that he's been in. He's able to be so flamboyant and like charming and big, larger than life, and then he can be a bad guy. And then he's a phenomenal singer. He's been in all these musicals, from Phantom of the Opera to Seven to all these different, where he blew me away. So I wrote it down, and sometimes we pray too small, and I think we need to just accept the fact that God can do bigger things than we think we can. So I went for it, and I wrote that down. And last fall, I got through the manager, and we talked to the manager, and he liked the idea, but he just said, Antonio's too busy. He's directing and starring in a play, and I can't even bring this to him. And I couldn't let go of it. I was like, man, it just has to, I got to keep pursuing this. I can't give up that easily. So we called again and said, well, where is he starring in this play that he's directing? And he said, well, he's in Madrid, Spain. Well, I had just moved to Madrid, Spain to prep the movie.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, well, that's not a coincidence. So we started going to his show until we finally got to meet him. And then I got 5 minutes to pitch him this movie. And it was just like one of those moments where we connected. And whatever I said, it worked, because he's like, you know what? I like you. I like this project. I'm in. So that was like, wow, okay, we're onto something here. When you get somebody like that on a movie like this, like you said, there's something special happening.
Why would I help find a new king in my kingdom? Well, when you put it that way.
Perhaps we should go.
What is the exit? It's going to be king. Everyone wants my crown. I won the mother found. Don't have to be good. Those men are looking for you.
Herod must know of the prophecy. He wants my child.
It's so stinking good to be
Joseph.
That's really cool. That's an amazing journey of how God brought Antonio Banderas to the journey to Bethlehem. But Adam, in a minute or two that we have left, tell us about Adam's journey and who Adam was at the beginning of this journey to who Adam is now.
Oh man, that's a great question. I've changed so much. I've learned so much. You know, I think, like I said earlier, that God put this idea in my heart, but then He pressed pause, and then He put me in film school, his film school, for 17 years, and He gave me all these opportunities in Hollywood to work with the best in the business for all these years, and you can't help but learn things. And you know, and I took a very unusual route to where I am now, but that was His plan, and I could never have dreamed when I sat down with this idea. I just thought we'll do the music for it. That's how big my dream was. But He had other plans. He wanted me to direct it, and that's a pretty amazing thing. So even 3-4 years ago, I wasn't ready. So God, you know, He has plans for us that we can't even see. And there's one of the themes of the movie is God has bigger plans for us than we can even dream about. I'm living proof. I was a bass player for Stephen Curtis Chapman. That was my big dream in life, right? To be a bass player. And here I am directing a feature film in Hollywood. So
Wow.
It's a pretty amazing journey.
So Adam, tell me why somebody should go see this film. If they're going to the movie theater and they're looking at a couple different options, what are they going to get going to see Journey to Bethlehem that they're not going to get anywhere else?
You know what? You're gonna have fun. You're gonna get a sense of joy. I think you should go early. You should go right away and see this movie because it'll set the tone for the whole holiday season for you. What we're celebrating. You can bring your kids. You don't have to worry about it. There's no agenda. It's just a wonderful family movie with great music. It's not even for people who love musicals. It's for everybody. You know, I've had so many people say, "I hate musicals. I love this movie." So it's a celebration for me. And when I was a kid, I had a storybook Bible. And it was colorful and vibrant, and it made me lean in as a kid. And I wanted to turn the page and see what came next. And I wanted this movie to be a live-action version of that. So kids stay engaged, they love it, they want to see more, and they're sad when it's over. And I think that's what we have. Bring your whole family. You won't regret it. I think it's just such a fun movie for the whole family.
This wasn't a dream. An angel came to me.
It's hard to have faith.
It's hard to believe.
Look at the star.
Future holds more.
This is it.
Let's go.
There are too many questions, too little time.
A divine king is to be born in your land.
It's a mountain too high to climb.
Well, I just want to encourage people that if you want to find out more information about this, they're all over social media. They've got their Facebook page, Instagram, and Twitter, but their website is journeytobethlehemmovie.com. But get your tickets today and make sure that you can, do pre-sales or whatever it is to get your tickets so that this movie does really well in the box office and it continues to just push through. And we've seen things like Jesus Revolution and the
Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom. Yes, thank you. Sound of Freedom. And now the After Death film. And there's so many faith-based films, Christian films that are out there that are doing well. This is another one that we can stand behind and push over the finish line to see it's sky high in the box office. So
I hope so. And it's
Adam,
as your kids do, which is great. We need that.
Adam, as we're wrapping up here, is there any final words that you have for us?
You know what? Bring your friends, bring your neighbors. This is also a movie. I like to say I didn't make it for Christians. I made it for everyone. So, it's hard to ask your friends and neighbors to come to church with you. It's not hard to go to the movies. So bring your friends, bring them all. You'll have a great time. And I really think you will feel better than you did before you saw this movie. And I just hope it becomes a family event every year.
Awesome. Adam Anders, thank you so much for joining me here on Charisma Magazine Online to talk about this awesome film, Journey to Bethlehem.
Thanks.
God bless you.
You truly believe
that this child is the chosen one. What is his name?
Jesus. I think even Fig is beginning to tolerate you.
Stop. Stop.